Hello and welcome back to the IOSportscast. With me as always I've got Ollie, say hello.
Yo, what's up?
And we are here for the Australian Grand Prix. We're back in Australia.
Yes! 2 years. 3 years.
It has been a long wait. I really like Australia, so I'm so glad we're back down
Yeah, I
there.
do. I think it's a good track.
But different track
Yeah.
than what we're used to.
Yeah.
We'll chat about all the changes and how it affected the race. Because first, let's just get the predictions out of the way. So one thing we forgot to do this week was post proper predictions.
Yeah.
However, we do have this or that from last podcast.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I forgot about that, to be fair.
Yeah. Now, while we were watching the race, we watched the highlights because neither of us went to get up at 6 in the morning. Because forget that.
No, we like sleep. We like sleep too much. That's what it is.
Definitely need more sleep. During the race, I completely forgot about these, and now I'm really glad with the ones that we've picked because actually we've done quite well. So this or that, these were picked at the end of our Saudi Arabia podcast. I said to you, Alonso versus Bottas, who's going to finish higher? You said Alonso, and you are wrong. Alonso finished P17. Last of the classified races. I then asked you on teams, Aston Martin versus Williams. You said Williams. And Williams, Alex Albon, P10.
Right. Yes.
He got the point.
See, I knew how Bono would get a point.
Yeah. You said for me, Alpha versus Alpha for teams.
Yeah.
So I said Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, because both Alfa Romeos finished above both the Hasses. You also then asked K-Mag versus...
Finished against both the Hasses. I said Alpha.
Sorry,
Alpha.
Sorry, okay, yeah, I've misread this. I've misread this because the next one is K-Mag Bottas, and I remember saying I pick Alpha for Bottas, and then Bottas again for Bottas. Right, so, Alpha versus Alpha, let me re-look at this. Alfa Romeo, P8, Valtteri Bottas, the highest Alpha Tauri. P9, Pierre Gasly, so I just do get it.
About.
I've misread the question, but I do get the point.
Oh.
K-Mag versus Bottas, where did K-Mag finish? P14. So I did get the point because I picked Bottas. Disappointing actually from K-Mag, I expected him to do better.
Yeah.
Right, the other predictions that I've got is the fantasy predictions. I've not done anywhere near as well. I already know them. So, as ever, for those of you who knew, I've picked 3 drivers, 3 teams for like generic fantasy points. My drivers being Verstappen, Sainz and Magnussen. Not brilliant. Sainz crashed out, Verstappen retired, Magnussen P14. So I only got 11 points across all 3 drivers.
Oh no, were they all from Magnussen? 6
from Magnussen, 5 from Verstappen, 0 for Sainz obviously. Teams, I've got Ferrari, AlphaTauri, Haas. So Ferrari with Charles I did alright. That's about it. Race predictions, here we are. The podium, I said Leclerc, P1. Yes. Verstappen P2, no. Sainz P3, no.
Oh.
Pole position, Verstappen, no. Fastest lap, Leclerc, yes.
Yeah.
Safety cars, no safety cars, I said. No. And the bonus question, where will the highest McLaren finish? I said 7th to 10th. I was wrong because both of them finished higher than 5th and 6th. I just was like, I'm just going to write McLaren off. They're going to score some points, but they won't be at the best of everyone else. How wrong was I? I knew something was up when I looked at the quali results and saw Lando Norris P4. That I was in for a bit of trouble. Yeah, let's talk quali. Some interesting things happening in qualifying. Let's start with the Canadians.
Yeah.
Can you, in any way, explain what Stroll thought he was doing?
I don't even think Stroll knew what Stroll was doing.
Yeah, it sure looked like that. Yeah, he collided with Nicholas Latifi. Obviously, got taken to the stewards. Given a 3-place grid penalty
And 2 penalty points.
Yeah.
I don't get it because he was on the Latifi was on the right, coming through on the right, and then Stroll just pulls across, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's like he just switched off.
yeah, it's just like I'll just put
He wasn't, yeah.
right hand down.
It wasn't like either of them were on fast laps as well. They were both on slow laps.
Yeah.
Yeah, confusing. So Lance Stroll didn't set a time, and would have started last had Alexander Albon not been disqualified for a 1 litre fuel sample couldn't be taken, so got disqualified. But it didn't matter because Albon already had a 3-place grid penalty from a collision with Stroll at the last Grand Prix, which we thought was harsh.
Yeah.
So kind of glad that the penalty doesn't matter.
Well, he served it now though, anyway.
Technically, yeah. What else happened in quali? Sainz messed up. Well, I think the team messed him up. So he didn't get a proper run and ended up P9.
Yeah.
And I mean, the weekend just went bad to worse there from Sainz. He was just driving angry the entire race.
Yeah.
Well, I say the entire race. He drove angry for about 3
laps and then binned it in the gravel.
I think it was lap 1, wasn't it?
No, it was lap 3.
I think it was lap 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man went lawnmowering, Valtteri Bottas style. Didn't stop, and got beached in the gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to think that is not a debrief you would want to be in Carlos Sainz's position for, especially with Leclerc going on to win the race.
Yeah.
Fastest lap, lead every lap.
Grand Slam.
The Grand Slam.
So, yeah.
Which is nice to see Leclerc get the Grand Slam, given he was 2 laps away from it in Bahrain.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
It's nice that he's actually now got one. And very nice for Ferrari that given that their man went out, that one of their rivals dropped out as well.
Max, Super Max. Not so super anymore.
Well, he might be super, but his engine...
his engine not super.
His hydraulics, I think, was what actually went, yeah. Well, we were watching the race, and DC that made the comment of something could break on Leclerc's car or something, and I just jokingly was like, I was like jokingly just like, I hope something breaks on Max's car, and then like 3 laps later it does.
But that's 2 races now where they've had reliability issues.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's more to come for Red Bull.
Yeah, there's double no finish in Bahrain. And I was like, we've been at 3 relatively fast tracks, and the engines conked out on half the occasions. Doesn't look good.
It kind of gives me the impression that they may have a good car, but they don't know what to do with the engine.
I mean, potentially there were some things that were going on, and obviously that entire system is so complex. Like, there's so many different things that it's not like you can just be like, the engine's bad but the rest of it's good, or just the energy recovering side. And Imola next time out, another reasonably quick track as well.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what Miami's going to be like, but so Monaco could be the first slower track that we're actually going to see the Red Bulls go on.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen there? But it does mean, with 1 Ferrari out of the equation and 1 Red Bull out of the equation, all the Mercedes boys needs to do was drive a nice, clean race, not get into any trouble, and they would be pretty much guaranteed the podium. And they did just that.
Yes,
George Russell, go on George.
Go on George.
Oh, it's so nice seeing him on the podium, especially with his only one having the asterisks.
A proper podium.
Yeah.
Proper podium. Yeah. On the green flag racing conditions.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It'd been probably just weighing on the back.
It'd been better if Perez had binned it or had an issue, and then we'd have had a double Mercedes podium.
Yeah, I feel like actually Perez should have been a lot further ahead than he was. He only finished 5 seconds ahead of George, and for a lot of that race, it was Lewis versus Checo.
Yeah.
And the only reason George got between them was because of the safety car pit stop that he got.
Yeah.
Which, that happens. That's,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah.
But to only be 5 seconds up the road, come on, Checo. You're 20 seconds behind Charles.
Mm.
Like, that's not...
Yeah, I think he'd be told just to bring it home though.
Agreed, but even still, that is... it was never like he was comfortable.
Yeah, he was getting pressured quite often.
He was constantly under pressure. I think did he slightly drop it? Was he one of the guys that dropped it on the second to last corner at one point?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, locked up. There was quite a
Yeah,
few.
there's a few, yeah.
There's a few issues. Well, I won't say issues, but like mistakes
Just
from all the
mistakes.
drivers, from most of the drivers. Either locking up or running into the gravel, or I think it's the new layout and the new cars. But
I think it's a mix of everything, innit? Almost all the corners have either been removed or changed in
or
some way.
widened, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
We've not been there in 3 years,
2019 was the last time.
and we've got new cars with new tyres.
Yeah.
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 Alex Albon made 57 laps on the set of hards.
I was thinking, is he ever going to pit?
Genuinely, I was like, what if he forgets? What if he just conks out, thinks it's like 56? What if he just forgets to pit and crosses the line, gets disqualified?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so nervous.
Oh man.
But he pitted, went onto the softs for one lap.
Finished in P10.
Finished
Got a point.
P10.
Go on, Lando.
Lando?
Albon. Don't know why I said Lando.
I mean, yes, go Lando, P5.
Yeah, go Lando. Rest of the rest.
But yeah, I remember you slating me when I was in the Bahrain podcast for saying that Albon, you were like, Albon might score a point if he's lucky, but he's not going to do anything special. Well, we only had 3 retirements that race, and Vettel is behind Albon.
Yeah. Fair. Take back what I said.
It could be done.
Yeah.
A hectic race, it could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the McLarens, P5, P6, solid race from those guys.
Especially after the troubles I've had for the first few races.
Yeah, I think it's probably worth noting that a lot of their issues around braking were pretty much thrown away for this weekend because you brake twice or 3 times on this track.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah.
Most of the time it's just either leaning off or flat to the floor. Yeah. Esteban Ocon finished P7. Solid race. I thought Alonso was going to do something, but then his pits just didn't work out, and he ended up at the back.
Yeah.
Ocon just was one of those. Just he was there.
Didn't really see him in the race.
Yeah.
He was just he was like a Giovinazzi from last year.
Under the radar.
Just there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So.
Who else? I mean, and Lance Stroll finishing 12th. An awful weekend. Some very dodgy driving.
Not just from Stroll, but Aston Martin in total.
Yeah, well, I mean...
The only reliable Aston Martin was the safety car.
Yeah.
That didn't have any issues.
That we know about, because we watched the highlights, so we got cut out.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see the Aston Martin safety car.
No, but did see Aston Martin safety car, so...
Yeah. I didn't actually see the safety car.
No.
While we're on Aston Martin, can we talk about one of the strangest fines that we've ever had in Formula 1?
Yeah.
Right. So Seb goes out at the end of FP1, I think it is. There's like a time limit where you're not allowed out because it's where like all the safety guys go and clean up the track.
Yeah.
And he goes out on this diddy little scooter.
Where did he get it from? That's what I want to know. Where did he get the scooter from?
Maybe it's his scooter.
It could be his.
I don't know.
I guess.
But how does he get the scooter into the pit lane and then onto the track in the time that you're not allowed? Like, surely he knows that you're not allowed.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But he did say afterwards that the €5,000 fine was a bit of a joke, and he would like to know what it was used for, along with the money that Max got fined for the wing touch.
Yeah.
Because we don't actually hear about
where they get.
We mentioned that I think last year.
It's just the FIA's back pocket, probably, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the conclusion we came to.
Yeah, but it was weird. I was like, where's he got that scooter from? He was setting the timing screens I like though. Fastest guy out on track at that point in time.
Yeah.
Probably the fastest the scooter's ever gone round. The fastest person to go round Albert Park on a scooter.
I mean, I hope so.
Scooter as well.
Given that the rest of the time it's public roads. But yeah, you're right. You would have absolutely been the fastest because it was just Marshall. Speaking of marshals, can we just say, I'm sorry for the career of the one marshal who fell over.
We don't know his name, so we're going to call him Dave.
Dave the marshal. Get back up, dust yourself off, lad, literally, and carry on.
He was so close as well to the. He was so close to the marshal post when he pinned it. It must have been like not even 50 metres, less than 50 metres away, and he just pins it. Oh man.
Right. We've run through that race very quickly, actually. That is what highlights get you.
Yeah.
We probably spent as much time in advertisement and commercials than we did the actual race.
Yeah.
Two things that I want to talk about. One, the circuit redevelopment, but the other one is the new rule that we saw this weekend that I have no idea about.
What is it?
The safety car restarts.
Oh, you're not allowed to drive up alongside them?
Must now be single file, yeah.
It's only when the safety car lights go out though.
Yeah. But it does seem like a good thing because Max basically lives his safety car restarts on the very front wheel of whoever's leading.
Yeah.
That's how he's always done safety
But
car restarts.
I guess with that there could be an element that you could have if he's side by side and you go around the corner like that. There isn't. I know it's only slow speed, but you could probably get damage or whatever.
I think there's a safety aspect and there's a racing aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily an advantage, but if Leclerc just brakes, I'm not saying slams on,
but slows
down for a corner, for example, and Max doesn't and goes ahead, and Leclerc refuses to then get the place back tactically.
Yeah.
Then Max gets a penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
Some might argue, well, that's just on Max. If he's going to play it that close, then that's on him. But it causes such a headache for everyone else. Like Sainz last time out, was like, well, does he have to give the position back now, or
yeah?
Does exactly, once the safety car's restarted?
I think that should have always been a rule. Should always be.
Yeah, I think it's quite good. Make the genuine overtake, and then there's no questions that can be asked.
Yeah, make it on the green flag conditions.
Yeah, exactly. Do it into turn one. No one could say anything else.
Unless you're at Monaco, then you can't really overtake into turn one. Unless you've got massive cojones.
Heroics, I think, is the word.
Heroics into Saint Devote.
Heroics, yeah. But yeah, redesigned Australian Grand Prix.
With the redesign, we did have 4 DRS zones.
Initially, we had 4 DRS zones.
Start of the weekend.
Which was
we had 4 DRS zones.
Very confusing.
Come to qualify and we had 3 DRS.
Yes, I think they realised that actually 9-10 is actually still 9-10, and with DRS it's just a bit more.
They did say they removed it for safety.
Yeah, I think.
Because if not, 50% of the lap would have been you could have used DRS for.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the new layout now, and there's there's 5 corners that are either widened or changed in some form, and then the chicane 9-10 chicane that's gone. It's still a little bit of a wiggle, but in these cars,
nowhere near as bad as what.
No. You don't
have to brake now.
Yeah.
It's just like a Maggot's Beckett's flowing.
Little lift off sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it is mad.
I like that they've got rid of 9-10. But you could have had but in 90. But with turn 9 and 10 in the old layout, there was overtaking opportunities. You could have potentially dived down the inside.
That is the only proper downside to a track like this. Is effectively it's a squished oval. It's a squiggly oval.
Yeah, basically.
There's no I mean, there are braking zones. It's not an oval, but it's definitely heading that way. Because if you're behind a car into turn 1 and you're not going to go for the move because you're thinking DRS down at turn 3, turn 1, 2 is a lift off and maybe light braking.
Yeah.
But more, that's been widened. It's follow through. Turn 3 is your first proper braking point. If you're going to
Turn 4, you don't have to brake as much.
4, I don't think I ever actually braked at 4. I was still picking up speed from 3. 5 is just a flat right, so it's not an issue. 6, a little bit of braking, but then after that it's going to be
flat to 11.
Yeah, 11 for me was never a brake. It was a double on the game at least. It was double shift down and let the car slow itself down.
Yeah.
Not braking.
Oh, well, it's after that, it's 13, isn't it? The right-hander.
Yeah.
And then 14 as well, you have to do the right-hander.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, sorry. Wikipedia's just broke. The track layout is refusing to load. Here we go. Yeah. Turn 13, also known as Ascari. Yeah, Ascari's got multiple corners. They're all named after drivers, I think, or people at least, which is quite nice. Do you like the new layout? Not compared to the old one, just as a track. Do you like the new layout?
It's more flowing
than
what it was.
Yeah, and these cars do help with that.
Yeah. I need to see more racing. I need to see more racing on it before I can make a judgment.
Fair.
I can't just say because after one race we need another 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah. I'm going to hedge slightly on the side of it's all right still. I still like Australia as a circuit, but I definitely do prefer the old layout. Definitely prefer the old layout. Even though I could not do that 9-10 circuit.
I can't do 10-11. I'm like a I do what science does, but except mine's more dramatic. So I normally hit the wall and fly across track. Whereas science was
my weak spot is my weak spot is basically what Sebastian Vettel did. Turn 4 on that curve, spin into in the wall. Yeah, that's my sort of thing. That is definitely my sort of thing. Oh, right. Well, with Charles getting his Grand Slam, he is way clear of the lead.
What is he? 40? No, it's not 40, is it? It's like 33 points.
34
like
points. He has more points than second and third put together. After 3 races.
Have you noticed who's second?
George Russell.
Yes, lad.
Josh.
Go on, Georgie boy.
Yeah, nice to see. Basically, if the Mercedes just keep this up and keep scoring points where everyone else drops them, they're going to be in for actually a really good season. I
think Mercedes can sort their issues out.
They're gonna. It's Mercedes.
They're gonna sort their issues out.
Yeah.
They'll just watch. They'll come to Imola. They'll give me on Paul. Nah, I'd say maybe we haven't had Spain, have we? But I reckon by Spain or something, they'll probably sort the stuff out when we get to European leg.
Yeah. I'm thinking. Well, I'm just looking at the races. Yeah, Spain they might do all right at. Monaco is a bit of a dud for them. Azerbaijan's not too bad normally for them.
No, but if they bring all their upgrades, because apparently they're meant to be bringing upgrades soon.
I don't know when it's going to be. If they've got them, Imola makes sense.
Yeah.
European race, but then after that, you have to wait till Spain because you're not going to take new parts to Miami, the track we don't know anything about.
Yeah.
How are you going to test cargo better than before on a track with no data on?
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, they are second in the constructors, which is good going, given that they've effectively got the third or fourth best car. I'll round out the drivers. Leclerc first, Russell second, 34-point gap. Sainz 33 points in third place, all the threes for Sainz. Perez fourth, Lewis fifth, Max sixth. Hey. I mean, last year Max won all of his races P1 or P2 in all races he finished.
Yeah.
That still stands this year.
Well, he's only finished one race.
It still stands, and he won it. So don't get too happy. But he does have a 46-point gap to Leclerc.
Yeah, 2 wins in it.
Yeah. And I think that's bigger than the biggest. That's bigger than the biggest overturned lead in the title race. I think. Yeah. Down at the bottom, Lance Stroll P18 jumps ahead of Hülkenberg. Does he? He might have already been ahead of Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg P19, Latifi still P20, and at the back, technically not classified still, Vettel.
Does he do half race distance, did he?
He got to be 90%, I think, is to be classified. Yeah, because he retired and he didn't do the first 2 races.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see him back.
Yeah.
Nice to see him back.
Yeah. Apparently, but he did complain about his car.
Yeah, of course he will. It's an Aston Martin driving at the back. He's not going to be happy with that.
No.
Of course he's not. Constructors. Ferrari, 104 points. Not bad, given that Sainz retired. Rest of the entries have been podiums, so well, fair play.
Yeah.
Mercedes second, 65 points. Red Bull third on 55. They are a clear top 3 actually. Now looking at McLaren P4, 24 points.
Yeah.
Alpine fifth, 22, and then it's the battle of the back 5, really, by the looks of it. Alfa Romeo 6th on 13th, Haas 12, AlphaTauri 10, and then the bottom 2 of Williams and Aston Martin. Williams scoring again. Oh.
Question for you: what race do you think Aston Martin will score points at?
Right now, I'm not confident they will score points.
Oh, you're gonna think they're gonna be. So you think they're gonna be like a Williams of?
I mean, 18. I'm sure they will. They finished.
All it takes is a crazy race, and we've had them in the past few years.
Yeah, but they finished 12th with 1 car in every race so far. That's their highest finish, is 12th in each of the races.
Crazy race, and it opens it up, doesn't it?
Arguably, we've had crazy races because it's a new.
Yeah, I know, but but I mean, like Azerbaijan last year, and Seb got second, and
I don't know. I think there's a long way to go with that car. I'm not 100% sure. I
still stand with my thing for Latifi though. I think he'll be gone by end of season.
Yeah, you said race 6, man. We're 3 races in.
I think he'll be by the summer break, I reckon. I think we'll have a decision on Latifi.
No, let's see. But actually, to answer your question, I think if Aston Martin have scored points before Britain, they've done all right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the races coming up, and aside from Miami, because we've no idea.
We don't know.
I can't see a track that's going to suit them. Monaco's the only one. If they had a good qualifying, maybe Monaco, because you can't overtake.
Yeah.
So you can't go backwards. Every other track is either quick
or technical
or quick.
Yeah, quick or quick. Yeah.
I mean, Spain's probably the slowest track we've got outside of Monaco and Miami. Before Britain. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Miami track. See what it's like.
I just don't know. This is going to be a nice segue to the next thing we're talking about. I'm just not sure we should be at more than one race
For a country.
per country. Yeah.
Which leads us on to next year and Las Vegas. That means...
What kind of accent was that?
I don't know. But that means there'll be 3 American races next year.
Yes.
So which race are they getting rid of, or are they just adding it as a separate race?
Well, Stefano Domenicali said that he's aiming for 30 races on a calendar. I cannot, for the life of me.
I don't think you should. I think there should be... I think you should have... I'd say 23, 22, and then have some rotationals.
Yeah.
So like you can only have one race from each country.
Yeah.
So that means you get rid of Imola or Monza because both in Italy.
Yeah.
You get rid of Kota, Miami or Vegas. They're on a rotational.
Yep.
We don't really at the minute we don't go to any other country more than once, apart from Imola and Monza.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd replace them. I'd put them on a rotational.
That'd be what I would do. I think I'm okay with 22, 23. I think 20 is, for me, is the right number.
Yeah.
Because you got to think the teams are doing an awful lot of flying around and hard work as well.
And I want to have we've got America, and then obviously we've got the European section, and then we've got America at the back end of the season.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, just have both American races together.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, it's easier.
Yeah.
You only have to go from Texas to Miami.
I mean, that's still a long way.
I know, but it's...
in the grand scheme of things, you're not going back to Europe and then going back out.
No, you'd have to just go from Texas to Miami or Miami to Texas.
Yeah.
It makes it, you'd have to fly all the way back to Europe to go all the way back to America.
Yeah. Why triple header it? Throw Canada in there as well.
And then you could quadruple header it and put Mexico and Brazil in.
I think, well, no, I wouldn't go that far. I think if we're going to do the let's go to America multiple times in a year, I think you have to back Texas and Mexico City. Those two, because they're
basically next to it. It's not that far.
They're the nearest
on a map, it's not that far.
And then I think you've got to do Canada and Miami together, because why are we coming back from Monaco in between them?
Yeah.
Like, I know Monaco is a hard race to shift around, but why? We had free choice in Miami. We could have put it anywhere we wanted. It doesn't,
I think, as I say, I think there should be a rule. The FIA should put a rule in saying you can't go to more than one country once.
Yeah.
And if you do, it has to be a rotational.
Yeah. So I'm looking.
So like, if there's 3 American races, one each year, and then on the 4th year, I'll go back to the first one.
Yeah, I'd be looking at 20 races, and making probably
3 or 4,
5, 6 of them rotationals.
I'd bring back Hockenheim.
Here's what I think. I was like, do we get rid of Imola and Monza as a loop, or do we lump them both together with the likes of Nürburgring, Hockenheim, even Britain? A lot of fans are not fans of Britain.
No, I won't get rid of Britain.
And put those into like historic.
Historic
and then you have 2 or 3 of them a season, historically rotating.
I won't rotate Britain.
I know, but it never does actually that high. If you look at all the polls, like, Britain scored really highly for British fans.
Yeah, I know, I get that.
And everybody else is like...
Yeah, I know, but it's
an old track.
I know, but it's been on the island since the very first season.
First race, yeah.
Yeah. But I'd get rid of some of them. I'd get rid of France.
Gone.
Put a Germany in there.
Yeah.
Any of the German tracks.
Yep.
Hockenheim on Nürburgring, have them on a rotational.
Yeah.
I'd have the American ones on a rotational.
I think what
I'd have Turkey. I'd wang Turkey somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Don't know where.
For me, I think a bigger issue, instead of trying to go for money and extra races like F1 are currently doing, is we should make it a world championship and race in Africa.
Yes, that's the only continent, apart from the South Pole, that's the only continent that
Antarctic Grand Prix.
we don't race in.
I'm all for that. Stick a
Where would you have the African Grand Prix? South Africa or
Kielami? Maybe Marrakesh, like a street circuit thing.
Yeah.
That feels a little bit too Formula E though.
Yeah.
Cause
have it in the Namibia desert. tarmac some of the
the
desert.
first leg of the Dakar Rally is also an F1 Grand Prix. Even though the Dakar
Flying over
Rally
the sand dunes.
doesn't start in Africa.
But yeah, so obviously now we're getting more Middle Eastern tracks as well.
Yeah.
I'll have them on a rotational.
Yeah. I'm just going to go back to Las Vegas for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the layout of the circuit, and there are 1, 2, 3, 3.5 braking points. There's turn 1, which is a hairpin.
And then that like loopy, like Russia turn 3.
Yeah, it's turn 5, which leads to turn 6, which is just a big U-turn effectively. And then there's turn 9, which is a left-hander. And then sort of 11, 12, 13 is like the old Singapore Sling triple chicane style,
Yeah,
Scary
yeah.
style thing. So yes, you're going to be braking, but it's not going to be a slam dunk. But the outstanding thing here, and I'm going to try and show you this, is it looks like a pig upside down.
No. Yeah, but also if you have it like that, it's like some kids drawing like a submarine.
What?
Like an old-fashioned submarine. That's where the people would sit in this bit, and then that's the other bit, and then this is the rest rest of the thing.
Okay. Okay, I kind of see what you're going for there.
I know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that is. I would not have gone for submarine.
Nah, no, but yeah, upside down pig's better.
Upside down, but it definitely doesn't. So that's next year, towards the end of the season. My only wish is it's not the one that titles won at. I
don't like titles being won in America.
I don't like titles being won at new races because there's nearly always controversy. That means.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just not a fan of us running multiple races in America.
I saw a meme on Instagram of like the 2030 F1 calendar, and it was just America and America. It was just all America races.
Yeah, we're gonna have the American leg of 8 races.
And then it was at the end it was Abu Dhabi.
Of course. Bahrain to start, Abu Dhabi to finish, and
America in between.
And 28 races of America in between.
Indianapolis was in there. But yeah, no, I think we do need to have a rotational. If I was head of FIA, that's what I'd do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's probably what's going to happen. Because here's the thing. China might come back 2023.
We've got Qatar as well in 2023.
Yeah, we don't have Russia though, so we can knock that off. So we've got what, 22 races this season? Is that right?
23.
23?
22 or 23.
You know what, let's just have a look. Let's just double check. We have 23 if the spare one gets filled in.
What's the spare one?
Currently to be announced.
It was where Russia was.
Was Russia.
Yeah.
Turkey. Probably will.
Malaysia.
Should we just go 23?
Should we go back to India? Just for shits and gigs.
Yeah, India and Korea I quite liked. Let's get them back, yeah. I wasn't a massive fan of Malaysia, but it was a nice
Valencia.
Oh jeez. No. Let's not go that far.
Nah, yeah, no, that was shit. Valencia was just a
not
fucking bigger Monaco.
So yeah, we've got 23 races this year, plus Las Vegas, plus Qatar, plus China.
That's 26.
That's half the year. That's half the year we're racing. That's too much. Like, we're good Formula 1 fans for let's have as many races as we can fit. But that's too much.
Yeah, they need to have rotationals, man.
You've got to take into account, like,
these people, not just the racing drivers, but the engineers, the mechanics, all have families as well.
They're away for pretty much the entire week. Like, they leave Monday or Tuesday depending on where the flyer is.
Yeah.
So they've got all week out there. They then might return
for a day or two.
For Monday after a race.
Yeah.
And then they've got a couple of days that the drivers will need to be in training for. The teams will be like breaking down what happened in the last race, how do we get it to be better in the next race, and then they're flying again.
Yeah.
Can't do it. You can't do that for 6 months and not expect all the teams to be burnt out. They're going to need 6 months off, which you don't have. You have a month shut down.
Yeah.
And 3 weeks in summer ain't gonna fit.
You'd have to get rid of the summer break.
Yeah, you'd either have to get rid of the summer break or reduce it and forcibly put just a week or two. Like it's 3 weeks at the minute, isn't it?
It's not. It's
3-4
3,
weeks?
4. It's like a month normally.
Yeah. Most of August, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you drop that back to 2 weeks or even a week. Like, that's not going to be big enough to make a difference. Like, that's not enough time for people to switch off and relax.
Because summer break normally is just like time for all the drivers, engineers, mechanics, just to have a few weeks off with their families and relax and stuff. Go on holiday.
Yeah. But then, like, this year we're finishing early. And the only reason we're finishing early is for the World Cup.
Yeah.
So we've gently squoze 23 races into exactly 8 months. That's mad.
Yeah.
Like, if we just stuck those 3 races on the end and assumed a week break between each of them, now another 6 weeks onto the end of that is the first week of January. And then we're racing again in March.
You won't have any time for winter testing.
We got
any time for.
Normally you have like a month off and then it's back into winter from post-season.
Yeah. Say the season finishes in November.
There's a post-season test for a week.
Yeah, which are normally junior drivers though, isn't it?
Still, the teams are still working.
Yeah, I know, yeah. So yeah, if it finishes the end of November, start of December.
Yeah.
You have like a month, like Christmas, New Year, where they don't really do much.
Yeah.
And then they'll be back at it in January.
Yeah, I think the FIA came back like the 12th of January this year. But the teams would have been on it before that.
Yeah.
And then you've got 2 months. It's not an easy 2 months pre-season.
No.
Because the drivers are pushing massively to get back in shape after eating too many Christmas turkeys.
Yeah.
And the rest of the teams are figuring out as many upgrades as they can get on the car for the next year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So actually, you know, we've only got 23 races this season. We've probably got 12 months of development constantly going on, minus whatever is forced to be off.
Yeah.
That's not.
I'd limit it to 25 races. I won't go any more than 25. I think 25 is the most you could. I'd have between 20 and 25 races. Yeah. Well, you only need 8 for a World Championship.
Yeah.
I'd limit it to between 20 and 25. I won't add any more.
Oh man, it's
but yeah, we need rotationals.
Yeah.
And I've got a video idea for us. I'll discuss it to you after this recording.
I was about to say maybe we do this as a thing. We actually work out a proper
logistical,
genuine calendar system.
Yeah.
Of each year, so we can avoid collisions for countries, but we can still have rotationals.
Yeah. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
That was my idea.
Yeah. Great mind. Let's do that.
I know exactly.
And
then we're gonna present it. We're gonna get dressed up. Go to France. Go to the FIA and be like, "Oi, big man, listen, yeah.
Mr. Mohammed, can you please have a moment of your time?"
Yeah. Do you have 30 seconds of your time? This is our new calendar. What do you think? Yeah, cool. See you later. Bye.
We have 30 seconds to explain why a 30 race season isn't doable, but 30 circuits over a 5-year period.
Yeah, that is doable.
And we will present it with our presenting man, George Russell.
He knows how to work it. He knows his way around a PowerPoint. So.
Presentation training.
Everyone else has media training. George Russell has PowerPoint training.
He's giving the PowerPoint training.
Yeah, well, I just think he's just there clicking the button.
Yeah.
PowerPoint made by George Russell.
Yeah. There is one thing that we need to remember for next time out in Imola. Le first race de sprint.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the first sprint race of the season is at Imola.
Ooh, interesting. What's
New sprints point system.
What's the point system?
I think it's 8 down to 1 for the top 8 or something like that.
Ah, right, okay.
Try and make it a bit more worthwhile actually doing something with.
Is it going to be sprint quali or is it a sprint race?
No, it's qualifying is qualifying.
Yeah, but is qualifying for qualifying for the actual main race or the sprint race?
For the sprint race.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's not. It used to be called sprint qualifying. It is now sprint race.
Right, okay.
Qualifying pole position is statistical pole position.
So they'll count on the
Yes.
stats, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
So whoever wins the sprint race will class as pole position.
Correct, but we'll start
on pole.
Sunday.
Effectively on pole position.
Yeah.
In the first grid slot, let's just say.
Yeah. So there's that to look forward to.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. I don't know what that's going to be like at Imola. I feel like it's a track that probably we've just made the race longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll find out. Anyway, I think that's pretty much everything. No, there is one thing. Back to Las Vegas very quickly. The race will be on Saturday night, not Sunday. There you are. Yeah. Practice will be on Thursday. Quali on Friday. Race on Saturday.
What's the point in that?
Don't ask me why that's happening. I assume it's because Saturday night in Vegas is a Saturday night in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Well, apparently not, because the cameras are going to be there. Although knowing the FIA, they will just be like, here are the results. This is definitely what happened.
Yeah. Are we going to do another this or that, or
we are? Yeah.
For like Imola.
We are going to do that. So we're going to do again driver pairing and a team pairing.
Ooh.
I just need to get my notes ready. Right. Would you like to go first, or would you like to answer first?
I will ask you first.
Well, ask me first. Okay.
Driver.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a curveball.
Oh gosh.
Seb.
Yeah.
Or Lance.
Ooh, an all Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, given off current regulations, Lance, but just said not done anything. There is no way, especially after what has recently happened on the F1 game, I'm ever going to back Stroll. That can get in the bin. I'm saying Vettel every day of the week because it's Vettel and he's not Lance.
And team Red Bull or Ferrari.
I knew it. That's what I was going to ask. Red Bull versus I'm going to say Ferrari. I can't bring myself to back Red Bull yet.
And it's Ferrari's home race.
Yeah.
Well, one of the home races because it's named after Enzo and Dino, isn't it?
It's sort of their home race. Yeah. I mean, Mugello's not on the calendar, so that's about as close as we're going to get.
Yeah.
Right, for you. Drivers. We're going to do a battle of the Asian drivers. Yuki Tsunoda versus Zhao Guanyu.
Ooh. Oh. Fucking hell. Sacre bleu. I will go Tsunoda.
Tsunoda.
Watch him not even start. Start on his way to the grid.
Yeah, I mean it happened.
I mean he had an issue last time I went to Imola, he binned it.
Yeah. For your teams, I'm going to give you Alpine and McLaren.
I'm going to back my boys McLaren.
Fair.
Watch them both do DNF now.
there is that sort of thing of like, oh, if we actually back these things, is it all going to go wrong? I don't want to get my hopes up about Leclerc winning the title. I'd be so happy to see that happen.
Yeah, I had to say, well, yeah.
It's going to get to Italy and he's going to throw it all away. He's just gonna crash out for the last 9 races.
Bin it.
Oh.
I'm going to make a bold prediction for Imola.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think the Aston Martins, one of them will score a point at least. And I think there'll be 2 safety cars.
And 2...
I'm not don't count VSCs.
2
Full
in cow's lock.
Yeah, full safety cars.
Okay. I was going to say, do you want to do an extra prediction of the sprint race? But I'm not going to say that because I can't see this happening. So I'm going to just bag the other points. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not stupid enough to make another prediction.
That prediction is just for fun. See what happens if
I'll
it happens.
I'll give you bonus points if they happen, mate.
Yeah. Fair enough. We'll post as normal quality and race predictions.
Yes.
On the Friday.
I'll actually this time do it rather than leaving them hanging. I'm going to get an email from the tool that we used to post, just being like, have you done it?
Well, with it being in Australia, it was early hours, wasn't it? So we was like, yeah. But
yeah, normally post it on the Friday, but
yeah.
Whoops, my bad.
Yeah, so we'll do his top 5 for quality and his top 5 for the race.
Yeah.
Or his top 3.
Yeah, top 5.
Top 5.
Makes it more interesting, doesn't it? Who knows?
Have you noticed there's not been a red flag yet? In the race? At any of the races?
I mean, red flags are not that common.
No, but I mean, like, we had a look at quite a few last year.
Yeah, because Michael Massey was
I reckon. I reckon the first red flag this season is going to be at Miami.
Okay.
Because it's a new track. None of the driver. Well, they will know it from simulator, but simulator driving to proper on track, vroom vroom, is different. So I think there's going to be a red flag at Miami. Could be totally wrong. We could go full season without having a red flag, but you never know.
Yeah, we could. I'm just very quickly looking up the Miami track to see how much runoff there is.
I think it's very tight, and it's around the Hard Rock Cafe, Hard Rock Stadium, or whatever it's bloody called.
Yeah, but there is still a fair amount of runoff by the looks of it. It's not like Jeddah.
Oh, Monaco.
Yeah, no, it still looks like there's enough space for. I mean,
maybe in certain areas, yeah.
There's a fair amount of runoff.
Yeah, but
I think that's going to be fine. I don't see. There's no red flag there for me. Well, we'll find. We'll find out. We'll find out. I mean, it's a lot better than the other proposed Miami circuit, which is sort of Zandvoort taken to the extreme.
And a bit of Avis mixed in.
Yeah. Right, let's wrap this up. We're getting giddy.
Yeah.
The rummy's kicking in. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time.
24th, I believe, the next races.
Yeah, that sounds. Imola. First sprint race. Let's look forward to it. We'll post our predictions the Friday before, and then, as always, the podcast will come out after the race. Ollie, it's been a pleasure.
As per usual.
I'm very glad we're doing this at sort of 6 p.m, not 6 a.m.
Yeah, no, we've been able to do it this early in the morning.
We've not been able to comprehend a thing.
No.
Make sure to follow us on social media at IOSportscast on Instagram and YouTube and Spotify and Google Play and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, all the mainstream ones.
I think that's the big 3. I
Yeah.
think I've got them all. Yeah. Until next time. Goodbye.
See ya.